So this genuinely is my first time doing stand-up. So if precedence is anything to go by, I'm going to prematurely ejaculate. And people in the front row, I will warn you, you are in the splash zone. So what I'm going to talk about is a topic close to my heart. Literally myself. Hello. So yeah, I am 24 years old. It's a good age. Which does surprise people because I do look like an enlarged fat toddler. So you're like, what is this enlarged fat toddler doing in a pub? No, I am 24. Another person I look like is Jonah Hill. We know him, yeah? Comedian. Yeah. Cool. I learned this when I went to America, the USA, as we know. And I was walking to my hostel in Washington, and this homeless man, he stopped me and he said, "Oh my God, is that guy from Superbad?" Good American accent. I was like, no, come on. I was like, good joke. He was like, no, give me an autograph. I was like, good joke, whatever. And then I walked off, and he was genuinely upset that I hadn't signed an autograph. And he goes, man, celebrities these days, they don't know nothing about anyone. So there's one homeless guy in Washington who's really mad at Jonah Hill because of me. So, yeah, as I mentioned, despite looking like an enlarged fat toddler, I am in fact 24, which means I'm slap bang in the middle of being a millennial. Shout out to all the millennials out there. And we're an interesting generation. There's lots of good things about us, like very socially aware, very environmentally aware, which I think is a good thing. Bad things about us as well. I read today on the internet that we're a generation having less sex than any other generation. Something I can personally vouch for. Hello, ladies. Another bad thing about us, we're a generation I find, at least personally, we don't like to take a lot of responsibility. Think about my parents, their generation, stuff like that. When they were my age, they'd be like buying houses, having kids, getting mortgages and stuff like that. The only financial responsibility I have to worry about is spending 70p extra for guacamole when I'm getting a burrito. It is a burden. And we're also very narcissistic, I find, and I think Snapchat really plays into that. You're constantly getting updates, pictures of people's faces. I don't want to see your face. I know what you look like. Stop sending me your face. But then, people try and improve that by sending a picture of their face with a filter on, so they look like a dog. It's like, great. I really want to know what some random guy I went to school with would look like as a dog. But now, thankfully, I do know that now. Speaking of the lack of responsibility, this is something I'm personally very guilty of. Crossing the road is where I find it the most. Not like at a crossing, I'm not an idiot, I know what to do then. Green man, go, perfect. But when it's sort of like your standard, just, shall I cross here, shall I not? I don't know what to do. So I have to hope there's a group with me. And if the guy nearer the traffic, to that, say the car's coming that way, the guy there, if he crosses, I'll cross as well, because if the car doesn't stop, at least I won't be the most hurt. That's what I like to think. My other stance is if there's a woman or a man, let's not be sexist, pushing a pram with their infant inside said pram, if they cross, then it's pretty safe to cross. They're not going to risk the life of their child just to quickly get across to Sainsbury's. But of course, there is always a worry of that, if the one time you stood next to an infanticidal maniac. Oh God, I've died because I was next to the infanticidal maniac, but Okay, the final thing I will tell about myself to you good people here, it's something it's very, very difficult to come out with, but I'm a fan of professional wrestling. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, hell yeah!
I didn't expect a positive reaction. It's something that I think we universally agreed as a society in 2003. This is a bit rubbish. Let's not watch this anymore. But no, I'd carried on. And I'm always trying to convince my friends, it's not terrible, it's quite good. And I ground down my flatmate once to watch a pay-per-view with me. That's a wrestling event for people not in the know. And there was a big feud building up for the main event. I was like, it's going to be great. Unfortunately for me, defending wrestling, the first match was what was known as a WLC match. Now, let me tread back further. In wrestling, they have a thing called a TLC match, which is tables, ladders, and chairs. But the creative team at WWE thought it'd be amazing to have a WLC match, which is tables, ladders, and chairs, but with midgets. So I'm there going, it's not really backwards and stupid. It's really good. Like, there's great things, and then there's one midget dressed as a ball jumping onto another midget on a step ladder, and then I have to defend that. So that's all you need to know about me. Good night.